Alright guys, so today we are working on a 13 Silverado. We're replacing the calipers. The customer placed the rotors on the pads, but when he's braking it's pulling to the right a little bit, so that means that we have either the hose or the caliper, most likely the caliper, that is getting stuck, and one wheel's braking first than the other. So we're gonna take all the questions out of the way. We're going to replace both calipers on both hoses. That way everything is working fine on the front end, because he does hold the trailer with a lot of weight, so we're going to be safe. So let's do that. So obviously you jack up the car, you take your wheels off. I'm going to compress the calipers in the best way I can so we can have movement. And then I'm not gonna hook it up just yet, but I am gonna put a this hose is really hard. I doubt I will be able to compress it. I'm not gonna take it off just yet. I'm gonna put it aside. I'm gonna put my new one in, my hose. That way when I'm ready to take the hose from here, it's just a matter of on and off, instead of just, you know, leaking fluid and then having to bleed crazy amount. Alright, so again, take the wheel off. Let's compress the caliper, and then back here you got an alien head or Torx, one of the two. This is how they left it. It's crazy. So then we're gonna take those off, take the caliper off, and go from there. So let me compress it and find out what that is so we can take them off. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, so we got the caliper off. It's a T55 to take the studs out, and now we gotta take the bracket off. I'm gonna find out what that is right now. It might be a 22. Let's see. Nope, it's probably gonna be a 21. So yep, 21. So we're gonna take that bracket off so we can put the new caliper bracket on, then the pads, then keep on going. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, so we got the bracket, we got the new hardware, the pads that they just replaced. We got this tightened down, so now we're gonna present the new caliper. We're gonna put it all up, so at the end we just gotta loosen it up and replace it. Okay, so I gotta get a container so we can get whatever liquid drops. But yeah, let me get the new caliper back on, and we should be able to connect the hose to the caliper and have it ready to disconnect from there. We might have to disconnect it from here after we loosen it up. And I think there's a bracket, this bracket here with a 10 in the front, and yeah, that should be it. So yeah, let me get this back on, that way we can trace to the hose. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, so it's on. Make sure after it's tight that you put the little dust cover caps on. Okay, that's already on. We're gonna be taking this little plug out, because that's where we're gonna be installing a new hose. The new hose is gonna run that way. So let me get that done real quick. Install the hose, and the hardware came here. There's the bolt and the two washers. You do have to use them. I've been to customer houses that they do it themselves. They don't put the crush nuts on it, and they're leaking, and they got air in the system, and they don't know why. So yeah, make sure to put that on. So let me put the hose so we can have it, you know, kind of guidance in the way that we want it, and go from there. Be right back. Alright guys, so we got the hose. We still haven't tightened it down yet, but we did get the bracket. On the bracket is the sensor here. Okay, it should be the ABS sensor or something like that, or the wheel speed sensor. Make sure that you put that back on. That's a 10 millimeter. Okay, and now we gotta remove this guy here so we can insert the new one. So first let me get a container underneath, and I want to say that's probably a 13. Let's find out. That way we can change that real quick, and once it starts bleeding from here, we tie this down. We gotta open this one so it will start gravity feeding a little bit, but make sure you don't want to run out of fluid on the reservoir. So let me connect that real quick. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, so if you have this problem that I'm at right now, when you were trying to lose this bolt, this line started twisting, you don't want to push it because it could break off. So what you want to do is PB blaster it, just heat torture a little bit just to get it warmed up, and then just kind of go back and forward until you start getting movement. Once you start getting movement, then you're gonna keep on loosening it. Okay, and it is a 13. So see, but it took a minute. But you don't want to keep on turning this and twisting this line. If not, you're gonna end up replacing the line. So you want to break it loose by a little bit of PB blaster and a little bit of heat. Not too much, just a little bit, and then play with it back and forth at the beginning. Go back and forth just like this. Start getting movement, and then you're golden. Alright, so let me get that out of the way. Once I loosen up from this, we gotta remove this clip so the line is free to go, and we can put the new one in. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, so this side is done. We got the hose hooked up in the caliper. Make sure that when you put it in, you leave a little space between the hose and here, the bleeder. That way when you bleed it, this thing is not on the way. Again, make sure that the bracket is on, the sensor is on, that is tight and secure. So I already gravity fed this one, meaning that the fluid started leaking through here. You close it, then you open this valve, and you let it bleed a little bit of some of the air. The piston's still not pushed in, so there's still air in the system, but we gotta bleed it out afterwards. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and jump onto the other side, get the same thing done on the other side, repeat the process, and then we just gotta bleed out the system. Okay, so let me go ahead and go onto the other side. Alright guys, so now we're on the other side. We're gonna do the same process. We compress the caliper a little bit so we can take it off the pads. We use the T55 to remove the pins. Now we got the 21 to be able to get the bracket off so we can start a new one. So let me get that done so then we can put the pads on, the hardware, the pads, the new caliper on, and almost the same process as the other side. So let me remove this so we can put the new hardware on. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, so again, it's bleed out, hose out of the way, we have the bleeder clear, it's hooked up, the sensor, we'll check your work all the time. The sensor is on, the bleeder is on. I'm going to spray that clean just to make sure that we're not leaking anywhere. And so yeah, so now we're going to bleed out the system. You always want to start on the opposite side or the longest side from the master cylinder. So we're going to start off on the other side. Alright, be right back.